What's up, Nailises? We are back with another video, and in today's video I am going to be doing more press-ons. However, before the video started, you see that I did 2 nails already because I wanted to make sure that I have, everything mapped out before I started. But I will redo 2 more nails, so you'll see me actually put the foils onto the nails. So we are going to get started, and hopefully y'all are subscribed and like this video. My views are going up, so I'm assuming that you guys like the topics that I'm talking about and the work that I'm doing. Feel free to give me constructive criticism so that I can keep giving you all what you like to see. So I'm going to get started here, and this is just me explaining. This is a live that I took from Facebook. This was a live stream that I took from Facebook, and what I do is I bring them over here and I edit them. So I'm almost doing like twice the work, but not really. So I'm doing a voiceover, and it is sped up double time. So it's going to be a little bit of a longer video. So just sit tight, you're in for a treat. And I am using some tips by, I believe these are, I don't even know the name because they came off of I bought these tips from a shop on Etsy, and they're soft gel tips. They're coffin shape, full coverage soft gel tips. So I am using my Not Polish Dip and Dap Clear, and I believe the other color is Princess Slippers. So if you like this pink, it's Not Polish Princess Slippers. And then I also am using some LV transfer foils that I believe I got off of Amazon, if I'm not mistaken. So they're just the transparent with the black LV print. Okay, so I am encapsulating this nail with clear. And when you do foils on your nail, you want to make sure you are using a top coat or a base coat. You can use a top coat or a base coat. I prefer a top coat over the foil, because if you don't, when you go to lay that acrylic, the monomer is going to eat up the foil. So you want to make sure you're doing that, and like I said, I will be showing that. So I'm encapsulating this with some clear just to, make the nail more full, because we have that pink towards the cuticle area and the apex area of the press on. So yeah, how's life? How's things going with you all? Because I don't have anything to really talk about, so I'm just going to be just describing what I'm doing in the video, and kind of just winging this thing. So like I said, if you want a certain type of video or you want me to discuss a certain type of thing, please let me know. I did get requests for makeup excuse me, again, so I will be doing that. It's just that I do not do makeup on an everyday basis, and I do not feel like I'm that good at my makeup. I do nails. That's the part of cosmetology that I focus on, and that's my specialty, is nails. So however, I can go into detail about what I'm doing. So when you are using acrylic, you want to make sure your bead ratio is, medium bead. You want to work with medium beads. And also when you're working on top of press-ons, you want to make sure that the nail does not become too bulky. Okay? With acrylic, the tip can shrink. So you want to make sure that you are placing those tips a certain way on the stand. And what I find that works for me is to not place that tip directly at the base. Like, make sure it's like halfway or down the nail more. So you don't want it to just be at the back. You want that tip to lay in the middle. So you want that sticky tab that you can see there, the white on the nail. You want to make sure that's more in the middle. I didn't do so for this set, but normally I do, especially when I do polygel, because all of the tapping with the polygel can make it come off. And I have videos of me doing that where the nail just comes right off for some reason. I think it's because of the alcohol or the slip solution. So what I am doing on this nail, I am doing pink. that princess slippers, and I'm making sure that my beads aren't too runny, wiping those sides really well, and making sure my application is very smooth, because I do not like fouling, and I say that a lot. That's the least favorite part of the nail process for me, fouling. Shaping the nail, shaping the enhancement, all of it. I don't care for it. So what I've done is dedicated myself over the last couple years, you know, to get better and better at shaping so that I don't have to spend so much time fouling. Now, I see a lot of people fouling the press-on full coverage tips, and, you know, to each their own. However, I do not do that because they're already pretty much shaped how you want them, unless you are changing a shape from, you know, long to short, or, you know, you're making a square coffin or ballerina. There's really no point in filing, and you don't have to file to make a rough surface. You don't have to do that. You don't have to put base coat on the tips. I was doing that at first, and it was a waste, because you don't have to, not with acrylic. The acrylic is going to be okay on the shiny surface. I see a lot of people doing that, and I think it's just because, you know, we see a lot of creators doing that stuff. It's very time consuming. So if you are looking for ways to cut down your nail time, you know, how long it takes you to start and finish a set, cut corners, because that is unnecessary. That's like over filing, and sometimes you run the risk of making these tips too thin and they will break. So I did not foul or anything. All I did was simply put the tips on the stand and I started, okay, because I'm using acrylic. Now with polygel, you do want to use a base coat. You do, just to be safe, because polygel is a little softer than acrylic. So you want to lay a base coat, whether you're doing press-ons, half weld tips, or natural nails. You want to make sure you are laying a base coat with any gel product, whether it's gel polish, polygel, or hard UV gel. You want to make sure you're putting a base coat, okay, for my beginners out there. But you don't have to so much with acrylic. That is very cute. Oh, look at that, look at that. All right, so I believe now I am going to get into, well, once I put the clear, I'm putting the clear over, oh, no, I'm doing another pink bead. But once I put the clear on this nail, we're going to get into how I did these foils. And transfer foils, a lot of people stay away from them because they are very tricky, very tricky. You got to make sure you just, and I can explain it as I'm doing it on the camera, so that way, you know, it's a better explanation. But I tend to stay away from them, but I've gotten better. Sorry, that's my phone going off. I remember, was it last year, there was a thing going around TikTok, like a TikTok hack, that saying that you can use the, I guess, the foil glue to adhere the nail. Of course you use the foil glue, but they were like, it was a hack that you put the foil glue down, the nail art foil glue, and you put the transfer, without curing, you put the transfer foil on it and then cure it and then take it off. That did not work for me. Then I also saw a hack last year, because I tried this and I wasted some of my foil, where you put alcohol on the paper, and you so don't do that, because it's going to eat right through the design. So don't try those things, y'all. Y'all heard it from me. And I said that in an earlier video on my channel, I'm sure, because I was so disappointed. I'm like, why would they lie like that? So those two hacks, if you are out there and you've seen them, don't try them. They don't work. I diffused it. It does not work. So now I am doing the pinky on this side. So I treat my press-ons like as if I'm doing a client's hands, kind of sometimes. So with this set, I decided to do each nail at a time. So if I do the pinky on the left, I'm doing the pinky on the right, so on and so forth, just to keep it, you know, balanced and everything, and to get done a little quicker. And I really like this knot polish. I'm all over the place, I know, because I don't have a topic. I'm just kind of doing my voiceover and talking about the work. And I'm doing this for new people that come to my channel. You know, there's sometimes I do get on my soapbox and I talk about social things or things that have nothing to do with nails, just to make the video more interesting, because it does get redundant to just keep talking about nails. Mainly because of the fact that I don't have, I'm not like a ambassador for a brand or anything like that, so I don't get new products all the time. When I do get new products, I do like to show them to you all, but since I'm not doing nails on people right now, I'm not getting new products in because I'm not using my products fast enough, if that makes sense for you all. So I'm not getting any like nail hauls or anything like that. I did have a couple of things that I just got off of Amazon, but those were more like, you know, tools, like equipment. You know, I got new stone pickers, monomer. Y'all don't want to see a video on that. So I don't have anything that I need to swatch or anything like that. But once I do, I will definitely share with you all, because I do enjoy watching swatches, because I see some beautiful colors I be wanting. So yeah. And in the near future, I do anticipate going back to being able to, you know, I want to be able to do live nails, because that's important and I love watching that, and I want to put that on my channel, like where I have, you know, clients and I can actually show y'all, because it is different working on it's a little different working on a real person versus press-ons or yourself, and it's just more interesting to watch. Now I will say, next to that, it's interesting to watch someone do like one of their hands. I like watching other, you know, nail creators or nail technicians or whatever, you know, because there's some channels on YouTube, they just do their own nails or press-ons. Like me, they don't do other people's hands, you know. Long hair pretty nails, she never I mean, I think there was a couple times where she worked on her daughter. Shouts out to Evie, she's doing her thing. I love watching her channel. But she mainly just work on herself, and a couple times I've seen her do press-ons, but she mainly do one of her hands, and her setup is just bomb. She got the top camera, she got the camera on her production. Like, that is, you know, if you want to know how to be a good YouTuber, watch Evie. Not that she needs my, you know, endorsement or anything, but I watched her and I've learned a lot from watching her. She was one of the, I would say, she was the second round of YouTubers that I started following. I was probably doing nails on my own when I started following her. So there are people, you know, influencers or whatever, that don't work on people, but I think it's just more appealing and it's more attention grabbing to work on a real hand. Now I do have a couple videos on here where I am working on two different people's hands, but I mainly just work on mine, and that was when I was working in a salon and I was able to record them. So I do anticipate, you know, me being able to do that again. Can't give you a definite time frame, but when it comes, just know that you will be notified, YouTube. You will be first to know. So yeah, so I'm just patting this acrylic. I love laying acrylic. I love shaping the acrylic. I love watching how the bead just glides off my brush and then laying it on the tip. I love all of it. I sit on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, wherever, and watch people lay acrylic all day long. Like, to get my little fix, I'll just click on TikTok and type in acrylic application, or Instagram. You know, so I love it. I love it. I love it. So that's what I'm doing here. And I'm contemplating my next set, because I did take these nails off finally. That's in this video, these gold poly gel nails that I did a couple weeks back. My nails are naked. So I'm thinking about doing some Gel X nails, and I will create a video for y'all to see. And the good thing about Gel X nails, the tips, it creates a barrier. So like, you can treat it like your natural nail. You can just polish over it, you know, once you have that tip on, that, you know, or you can, you like a press on, you can just polish over it. You can do dip, you can do any enhancement over it, hard gel, dip, acrylic. So I'm thinking about putting that on my nail, full coverage tip, you know, with the the base coat gel or whatever. And I'm thinking about doing some dip because I don't do dip too often on my channel. So stay tuned for that. That's something you can look forward to. And I really like this color. It's like a transparent pink. And the more, of course, the more you add, the deeper the pink, but I wanted it to be really sheer, so I like that. Now, I believe I did another nail. Maybe I didn't do another nail. Maybe I just did that one. And I could have sworn I had a video, a clip of me doing the gel or the foil, the transfer foil. But maybe I did not. Maybe I didn't do it on a clip. I could have swore when I was editing this that it was in there. So somehow it's just not in here. But however, I can explain. Let's get into explaining how I did the foil. So I had my tip. I got some nail art foil glue. And the one that I used is by Beetles. Got it off of Amazon. Now, the best transfer foil glue is Wildflowers. I used that when I was in school both times. And you cure it, I believe, for like 10 seconds. And then it's sticky. It's real sticky. Not to say that Beetles isn't good. Beetles is good. However, you have to make sure you have that surface that you want the transfer foil to go on. You have to make sure you have that thing covered well. Because if you leave any gaps or if it's not as much glue on other parts, it's not going to transfer good. So once you cure that for 60 seconds, then, you know, you put the transfer foil glue, cure for 60 seconds. Then you take your transfer foil and you make sure that it's on there as straight as possible. You don't want any dips. You don't want it to be crooked because then you're going to have breaks in your foil. So you want to make sure you're laying it as smooth as possible. And then you're going to take your finger or a tool and press. You're going to rub. That friction is going to make that transfer foil separate from the transparent piece on the nail. And you can tell. And that's why I wanted to show it, because when I did these, since the base of the transfer foil was already clear, I had to really make sure that I was pressing. And you can almost see, you know, that transfer paper come transparent, because that means that it transferred onto the nail. So that's the point that I wanted to make about that. Just make sure whatever part you're having covered, make sure you're not moving it in any type of way after you've, you know, laid the paper down. You know, it gotta transfer to keep your design consistent, okay? And it takes a lot of practice. So don't feel bad. I've had these transfer foils for a couple years and I have a ton of them because I kept buying them because I just believed that one day I was going to get it. I know a lot of people that just hand draw their designs because they just don't like the transfer foil. And it's a quick and easy way to get a design, you know, without being too time consuming. You can make a simple set look way more intricate and, you know, jazzy by just simply adding some transfer foil. So, and it doesn't take long. Once you get the gist of it, you know, depending on how big the surface that you're transferring the paper on, I say do half the nail. I don't try to do a whole nail with the transfer foil. Is do half and then just make like a French tip with it or something like I did here. I did like an ombre, because the bigger the surface, the more difficult to try to get all of that transferred. And the problem that I'm running into is that, you know, these transfer foils, some of them don't transfer as good as other ones. Like the ones on Amazon are okay. And the ones that I got from my beauty supply store, they're like the same exact ones that's on Amazon. So those aren't too good. However, I heard that the ones off of Shein are very good. So I'm going to try some of those when I'm, you know, ready to buy more foils. I got to get these used up because I have a ton of them already. But once I make room for more, I'm going to order my next transfer foils off of Shein. And there was a YouTuber that suggested getting foils off of Shein. Now, I do have some butterflies. They transfer, it's like hit or miss with those. you know. And another thing too with your transfer foils, you want to make sure that you're not touching or laying them, you know, transfer paper down on any type of surfaces. You want to make sure you don't have any oils on your hands, because that's going to affect the way that it transfers. You want to make sure you're not touching it too much. You know, maybe don't take it out the case or unravel it until you're ready to use it, so you don't have any dust or debris, you know, interfering with that transfer. All right, so I was thinking about doing a sugar nail, but I don't think I did it. I had that out and I think I forgot about it. So I believe maybe I did use it. I don't know. I can't even remember. I did this set a while ago, like a couple weeks ago. So I just decided now to get the footage and make a video. So next, I believe I am going to file these, because we do have to still file. Even though they look good, you want them to look that much better. We are zeroing in now. You want them to look that much better. And y'all see how pretty that is? Like, oh, I got it. I did it, you know? And that's that OG 103 Princess Slippers. That's the number of the not polished dip and dap that I used. And so I did file off camera. And so now in this clip, I am buffing, because I don't like fouling on camera. I don't like fouling, period. And these are some really good tips. I wish I knew the name of the shop that I got them from. It was last year. And I need to get some more, actually. I need to get some more full coverage tips. Y'all, let me tell y'all a story. Nail time story. So this haul that I just did, I got tips too. And I will be showcasing some of the tips that I got. They both were supposed to be full coverage. I ordered them off of Amazon, and I saw the reviews for the one tips, and you know, I'm always leery of, you know, shops on Amazon that don't have too many reviews or too many purchases. And I went against my gut and I ordered these particular tips. They were supposed to be non-C curve, square, full coverage tips. And when I got them, of course they were half well, and I already had C curve, half well, square tips. So I'm pretty disappointed about that, because now I have to still buy, you know, because I'm making press-ons. That's why I was getting them, to make press-ons. I mean, I can use them on myself or whatever, but I wanted them to make press-ons. So I can still use them to make press-ons. I just have to buy some shorter square tips to glue them onto, like I'm doing a fingernail. I was pissed. And of course, someone did leave a review saying that that's what happened to them. And then I saw another review where they didn't get the 504. They got like 300 tips, because they actually sat there and counted them. I'm like, I hope they give me all my tips. Now, I do believe that there's 504 tips. I'm not going to sit there and count them. I'm not that petty. I just kind of eyeballed each individual pack. And it's a lot. It's a lot of tips. I'm just mad that they're not full coverage. So, you know, word of advice, just make sure if you're ordering off of Amazon or anywhere, you look at the reviews and then make a conscious decision. Follow your gut, because that has never happened to me, where I got something that I didn't, you know, I didn't get what I ordered. Normally when I order on Amazon, I don't have any problem. And then another thing too, I had a different shipment. I ordered everything at the same time, but you know how sometimes things come in different shipments because they come from different places. Well, I ordered my monomer and it didn't come until 7:30 last night, but it was supposed to come Monday, because the delivery driver didn't want to drop it off. He kept texting me, asking me where to leave the package. And I'm like, y'all always leave it at my front door. Leave it at the front door. I don't have any dogs. I don't have a gate that you got to get through. Like, it's right here. You got my address. Drop it off. And so I had to call customer service and make a report. And of course, I got my monomer finally. I'm like, come on, Amazon. Y'all never tried me like this. Y'all customer service, they have one of the greater customer services, I must say. You know, so I was kind of like disappointed with my tips and the delivery of my monomer, and I've never had to deal with that. But that was my little story time about that. So yeah, I'm just buffing, and with buffing these, you don't want to buff them too much. you know, sometimes we have a tendency to act like we're fouling the nail with the buffer, but no, you don't have to get every single scratch out. You just want to get that surface to feel smooth. That's why you see me running my finger over it. I don't feel any scratches. That's when I stop, you know. And if you're using like one of the block buffers, what you can do is start with the more abrasive side and work your way down to the smoother side. Okay, so with the block buffer, this buffer in particular, it has 2 different grits. So I believe I did start with the more abrasive side and then I switched it over. Once it starts feeling, the nails start feeling smoother, I go to the least abrasive side. It has a higher grit. Okay, the higher the grit, the less abrasive it is. That makes sense because there's more particles next to each other. Those of us that went to school, it was explained to us in our books. So, but yeah, so that's all you have to do. Block buffers are good because I just go do a little 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2, and then I switch the side and do the same thing, and you just develop a rhythm, you know, and that's a way to keep your time consistent. So you can, like, say you have a walk-in and you're doing somebody's nails and you're like, I just got a buff, and give me about 20 more minutes on her nails, depending on the design and stuff like that. So you can kind of guesstimate, you know, if you have a walk-in, you can tell them like, hey, it's going to be 30 minutes. If you want to run next door and get you, you know, a bite to eat or something, you can do that and come back and I'll be able to, you know, I'll be ready. So that's a good skill to have, to know your rhythm, know how long it's going to take you to do something, you know, and I got that, you know, working on these press-ons has really helped me because I haven't been able to stay somewhere long enough to develop my rhythm, especially on real hands. So doing press-ons is just like doing real hands. You want to make sure the side walls are, you know, on the tips aren't, you know, clunky and bulky. You want to make sure that when whoever wears your press-ons, they actually fit to their nail bed and things like that. So you want to make sure the cuticle area is still flush. You don't want them bulky. I be seeing a lot of press-ons that has that hump at the cuticle area, and I'm like, boy, when they put those on, they're not going to look natural. See, these just look like I polished them. They're not bulky at all towards the cuticle area. So you want to make sure you're still, you know, and I probably could have stand to put a little more acrylic on that one, but I like that transparent look. That's really cute. But yeah, you want to make sure it's just not bulky. Okay, you want your nails to look natural still, even though we know these are fake. You want them to still look natural, just like your hair, your lashes. You want your nails to still look natural. Okay, and I think we're kind of getting away from that. A lot of nails just look like Hummer trucks on your fingers, and it's like, this should not look like that. I can't get with that. But if somebody wants that, I mean, I could, but I like to educate people. When I did have clients, I would educate them on nail safety. You know, you don't want the apex to be too thick because it'll take your whole nail off. You need that nail to break. So if you have an accident, say you fall off a bike or something and that nail needs to break, oh my God, that'd be a horrible way to break a nail. Why did I pick that example? I don't know. But you want that nail to break. That's the whole reason. You want it to break at a certain point. You want it to break at the free edge. That way you're not breaking your real nail and your real nails aren't coming off. When I see those nasty, gruesome videos of the whole nail coming off, that means that that nail is on there and it's not breaking. And that means that nail is way too thick. However, you don't want your nail to be too thin. That's why I push and promote press-ons, because if you're not building too much on top of it, that thing will probably more than likely pop off, depending on how you adhered it to the natural nail plate. I'm kind of out of frame here, but I'm just polishing with top coat, and I'll get back in frame here shortly. But you want to make sure that the nail is just not thick, even when you're laying on top of press-ons. But more than likely, even if it is a little thick on the thick side, they'll probably pop off, as long as you don't have them like, you know, super adhered to your nail. And if you want your press-ons to be more what's the word I'm looking for? Temporary. You don't want them to last longer than a few days or a week. Try using the sticky tabs, or just don't prep your nails and just put glue on. Use baby oil to take it off, because oil doesn't mix well with the glue or the any of the prepping that we use. So here I'm just laying some cute little pink stones that I got off of Amazon, and you really cannot see that. Oh my gosh. So I'm just laying them around the cuticle area. Sorry, I'm out of frame, but I'm just making a cute, there you go. I'm just making a cute little design. Y'all see how good I got that? Look at how good I got that. That foil. I'm going to do a little editing while I'm talking. So let's see something here. I'm going to take this and zoom in for y'all. Zoom out, rather. So y'all can kind of see. There we go. Y'all can kind of see what I'm doing a little better because I was out of frame. So I'm just making a cute little design on some of the nails and just adding a little pizzazz, because I do have a habit of not using my rhinestones and my nail accessories, and I have a crap ton of them. So I'm going to start making press-ons with the bling and everything like that. And that's what y'all want to see. Okay. I've done my research, and according to Mary's research, y'all like the bling, y'all like the crop print, y'all like the designs, y'all like the colors. Okay. Y'all don't want to see the boring nails, the boring monochromatic plain Jane nails. Y'all want to see the pizzazz, so I'm going to bring it. Pizzazz is my middle name, and I'm going to bring it. Okay. If y'all haven't checked out my last short, make sure you do so. I did my thing on there. I should have made it a video, but I just did not hit record. But I did think of y'all, and I did make a TikTok, so that short is available. And it's not like overly done, but there is bling, there is croc print, and there is color, and they are short. 2 snaps about that, because I see a lot of pizzazzed up long nails. But when I first started, a lot of people were asking me, like, do you do short nails? And I'm like, yeah, I know how to do short nails, but short nails, don't nobody want to see that. When y'all see these videos, y'all want to see long nails. So maybe that's why I didn't record too, because they were short. But yeah, y'all can go check those out, and make sure y'all hit the like button on those. Okay. So we're just adding the bling, and maybe I'll come back and do another foil video to show y'all that you don't have to shy away from foil. You can do it. Okay. And then I have also some silver foil where you can just kind of like, where you're not trying to cover the whole nail, you can kind of just make it look like crackle or whatever. That'll be cute too. All right. We're going to do some looks with that, because I have a big roll of it. So yeah, I'm going to show y'all. I thought I put that clip in here. I do apologize once again, because I did such a fantastic job of laying that foil. And it doesn't have to be super perfect. Like, ain't nobody going to be up on your nail. And if they are, tell them to get back. But ain't nobody going to be up on your nails, but, oh, there's a little speckle missing on the corner of your pointer finger. Like, yeah. As long as it, the eyes kind of make up for missing spaces. So, like, I'm sure there's a tiny little gap of transfer foil that didn't get transferred. But for the most part, you can see that it's beautiful. All right. But yeah, I think I was going to get into something and I forgot. So maybe it'll come back to me. But yeah, I'm going to do my nails here in the next day or so. Today is November 8th. It is 7:46 a.m. while I'm doing this voiceover. And yeah. So the thing about bling, I've heard that you're supposed to like do the, 2 to 1. So like one for every one big stone, you want to add 2 complementary size stones that are smaller. I don't find that to work for me. And correct me in the comments if you know what I'm talking about and if I said that wrong. But I've heard that and I'm like, what are they talking about? It just doesn't work for what I'm trying to do. So my advice is to watch people lay stones. And this is not really a stone tutorial video. I do apologize about that. I am out of frame again, so let me adjust just a little bit. Just a little bit. Okay, so I do apologize for being out of frame, but I'm not really showing too much of how I lay the stones because I'm just kind of freestyling it. Have fun with it, you know. And if you lay something and you don't like it, take it off before you cure it. That's why I like using gel glue versus, you know, just regular nail tip glue, because you know, and you can still remove the stone, but you have to do it in a fast enough time before that glue dries. Here I believe I'm just using the top coat because this wasn't like an order for anybody. This is what I call a mock set. So just to kind of show and advertise what I am capable of doing on a set. So yeah, that is that. I'm going to show y'all my final look after I cure this. I got a couple more fingers to do, and I'm just laying that top coat. So yeah, this is a mock set. And what I do when I have an order is I have them measure their nail size, and say somebody wants this particular set, you know, if any of these sizes work for them, then, you know, I can include them on top of, so they'll get a little extra just in case, you know, there's some shrinkage that happens. So that's how I accommodate for my nail press-on customers. I make them measure their tips and they send me their sizes, and I just go from there. And each different pack of nail tips, for the most part, a lot of them are different. Some of them run big, some of them run small. So that's why it's imperative to have your customers, if you're doing press-ons, it's imperative to have them like a sizing chart or have them measure their nail tips. And it's very easy to do that. So you guys, thank you so much. I've been talking for 38 minutes straight. I made it through this video. I stayed on topic. I didn't zero away. I didn't let the negative things get to me. So that's growth. All right. Thank y'all for watching. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. And until the next video, make sure you comment and let me know what you want to see next, because I have a lot of different things that I can do, and I always get inspired by y'all ideas. So thank you so much. God bless you. Until the next video, I'm out. Peace.